Welcome back to another episode of the Business Hour. Today I've got Christian from Mikasa Entertainment. I've brought Christian along to talk a little bit about social media, about the events and how he uses social media to promote and market his projects. Welcome.
How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
So, first of all, do you want to just tell everyone that's watching a little bit about what you do and the different brands that you're involved with?
Yeah, definitely. So, Mikasa Entertainment's sort of the overall, the company itself. We do events. So we do day parties, nightclubs, sort of little pop-ups here and there, a couple of beach parties, basically like social gatherings with plenty of booze, plenty of music. Nightclubs, basically. Yeah.
Yep. And they're all different brands?
Yeah, so different brands within. So I've got a focus on the Latin market. I've got a little bit of focus on R&B, or mainly R&B at the moment. We do some old school style events. We've got some cool stuff coming up. And then we try little things here and there, little pop-ups, and it all varies. It's kind of seasonal, and sort of as we get creative, we think of something new that we think would work, and we kind of dive in and try it.
And how do you use social media to promote your events?
So social media is a big part of what we do now, and I think probably you can attest to the fact that 10 years ago, social media was just kind of beginning, and if you were on there, it was good, but you did all the print media and all the kind of the night stuff, as well. You'd be going to train stations to put flyers on cars. You'd be ducking security guards because you'd be trying to put flyers at the front of other people's clubs. You'd be sending text messages. You'd even be sending emails and stuff like that. Whereas over time, social media is predominantly now where we focus, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, a little bit of Snapchat. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. I still think I'm a little bit of a dinosaur on it, but I know there's a lot of other stuff that people are using, but it's predominantly how we get people there, or how we get people's interest, or even test to see if the things in the future are going to sort of pop off or not.
That's really interesting, because that was my next question. How do you use social media to research what's in demand and what people are looking for?
The good thing about social media is that the wall itself, you can see what's trending. So that whole topic, that whole, trending is a thing. I think everyone, especially sort of my demographic and sort of a little bit lower, is, we spend probably 80% of our free time on social media. So you can always see what's trending, and whether it be music, whether it be anything really, just any other common interest, you generally get it. You find out about it on social media. You just got to be quick at it. So just as much as we kind of don't want to be spending all our time on social media, it's important that we do, because something will trend and we can turn that into a flyer or a theme, or it can be something like absolutely silly, but it really, social media is kind of like the Google of our time for me, I think.
Yeah. So the important thing is how quick you can react to whatever's out there. Because
especially with the young, and I put it back to the young kids now. If you look at clothes, you look at music, you look at everything. They're fads. It's not like, I always compare it to like a classic dress coat that's timeless. Whereas you look at the styles that people wear these days, they change. They fluctuate. 1 minute they're into one thing, the next they're into a completely different thing. And you've got to be try and be as as you got to have your eyes open, just watching to see. And I guess especially for us, I like to think I'm an old timer, but it's hard to keep up. Social media is the only way we really keep up.
Yeah. And how do you see social media impacting, not just the event space that you're in, or the entertainment and social scene, but other businesses?
Well, to give you a sort of a bit of background, I worked for a company called Action Coach some years ago, and they were sort of bringing in courses, sort of the 6 fundamental steps to increasing profitability, starting business. And when I was we were doing the LQ brand with a couple of other friends and people I worked for and stuff. We found that the small businesses were really interested, because they didn't understand the concept of social media or how to actually generate leads. Essentially, that's all we really want to do, right? So we kind of did a little bit of an introductory course. Now, if you did the introductory course, probably someone's 8-year-old daughter could do it for them in front of them. But 6-7 years ago, that small to medium business market had absolutely no idea the power of what it is now. It's put away the event side of things. Social media presence is important, if not more important than, I say, Google. You know, people aren't on Google every minute of the day. People are easily influenced, and they're easily, like, you're in front of their eyes on Facebook, for example, Instagram. There's some pretty big platforms. They're the biggest databases in the world, period. And every business is built around the size of their database, right?
Yeah. And what do you see is like right now, in terms of your promoting and your marketing, what's the one sort of tool? Like, is it Facebook's?
Well,
stories
Facebook and Instagram are a big thing as a whole. There's so many other elements to it. You know, I think with one of our recent events, Day and Night, we brought on a partner with us who's just, like, he knows what he's doing when it comes to adverts. And there are ads that even I had no idea you could do, and in the ways you could place them, at the times you could place them, you know, and then, you know, when they reoccurred to the right people and things like that. So, you know, Facebook and Instagram, they kind of, well, they're in synergy, right? So they're all one company now. It's incredible. You know, like I spent most of my life working for lead generation companies, and it's almost redundant. You know, it's that kind of cold calling, although it is still happening, and you know, it's important for a business. Like, if you've got the right social media elements, like, your online presence is no longer how good your website is, but it's how good your socials are, the content you put on there. You can be in front of people's faces a lot of times, which is a better selling opportunity than any phone call.
Yeah. I actually want to go back one step.
Yeah, of course.
You said that you spend most of your budget on social media.
Yeah.
Do you do anything outside of? Do you do press or anything?
It depends. So we don't really focus a lot on press because we don't need to. I think over the coming sort of, let's say, 12 months, Day and Night is a brand, which is one that's really kind of blown up for us as a day party. That may see the likes of press and you know, because you're looking at larger scale numbers.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for value for money, socials, Facebook, Instagram is the way to go, especially for the demographics that we have. You know, we do print media. Obviously, you do a bit of printing for us as well, and some design work and things like that. But our main focus is socials, not taking away the human element though. So, you know, we do our human promotions, our you know, person to person contact is still a big part, and sort of why we're still here. I think, yeah.
I think that's something that's really important, because when you talk about marketing a business, you look at the biggest ROI.
Yep.
Whatever's going to get you back the biggest revenue for the least amount of output, and it's not always online. Mm-hmm. If TV are giving you a great offer, or if radio is giving you a superb offer, maybe that's that's going to give you a better return.
And it depends on the type of business too, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing that a lot of people don't always realize. They think that one thing is the be all and end all.
And I think it's dependent on your markets, right? So, you know, if I was aiming to sell, you know, electric wheelchairs to the elderly, well, it's not likely that I'm going to be spending, you know, $5,000 a week on social media marketing, because the demographic that's probably, no offense to anyone that, you know, that is of age and that is on there a lot, but, you know, we kind of tell that, all right, that demographic kind of missed the boat on this, so we'd likely be going for television ads at specific times. Whereas, you know, when we look at what I do, for example, and, you know, if I launch a new night and let's say the market is, you know, 18 to 21 year olds, well, for me to put a television ad midday is absolutely useless. Yeah. Or, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Whereas socials, I can be in their face, and we know that demographic really uses socials, and, you know, as much as I guess it can be both a negative and a positive, they're pretty heavily influenced by socials. So, you know, as a marketer, which is essentially what we are, that's where we want to be. And
do you guys use like stories?
Yeah, so we do a lot of stories. It's all about content, right? Like, I personally do a lot of stories. You know, it's kind of tiring sometimes to sit there and have to make fools of yourselves on your own story. And, you know, my mum is on my Instagram, so that's a bit awkward sometimes.
What does she say?
She'll just question some of the things I do. Sorry, Mum. But again, it's just content, right? Like, you know, I don't have a huge following on social media, but the following I have, or the people that are on there, you know, do tend to come to clubs that I run, or that I work at, or that I work with. So, you know, every now and then you got to kind of get a little bit creative, or, you know, take a bit of pre-workout and kind of make a fool out of yourself running up the street or something.
Yeah, you know? I think that's important to touch on as well. The fact that it's not always how many people you've got on your social media; it's how many people are engaging with you that are following you, that are interacting with you.
And your intentions behind it are important too. I think that, a social media, yes, it's a good marketing platform, right? So is television, so is everything. But, you look at the big adverts, and even those adverts on television, they're still trying to reach, some sort of emotion, right? So they're trying to get some reaction out of you, so that you can go, okay, well, man, that's kind of cool, or that you can resonate with it to make some sort of connection, to want to go, to want to buy, to want to see, to want to spend. The same thing, right? If I sit there and post flyers and only flyers for 4 days straight, I can already see the views on stories, for example, start to die off.
Yeah.
Then if you post like a fat picture or something, right, or something to do with food or something like that, they come up again. And it's actually was talking to my brother about it, and it's the jab, right hook concept that Gary Vaynerchuk spoke about.
Yeah.
Just that constant kind of make sure you're giving, and then come with one that, may be of some sort of marketing value to you. So,
you must have a lot of people that love you and hate you equally on social media because they're getting rejected from the clubs or getting kicked out or whatever it is.
We don't reject anyone.
Yeah. Tell me the funniest thing that stands out that someone's inboxed you.
You're an idiot. No, like I do some silly stuff. Just the other day, I think I was dancing in the kitchen because I'm running a Latin night tonight. So I did a bit of a dance and was like Riba, and I just got a whole bunch of "you're an idiot," like really kind of question mark, because I'm not really like that in public, so I don't exactly go dancing around and kind of like making a fool out of myself. I'm pretty I think I'm relatively serious when I'm at work, so people were just like, "What's wrong with you? Are you okay?" Like. So, yeah.
But and how do you take on? I guess the serious side to that question was, how do you take on feedback and how do you deal with negative comments and feedback that come through if someone isn't happy with one of your events?
Look, if you can always tell when there's genuine sort of feedback, right? We had one just recently where it was actually a friend of mine had some negative feedback about some booth service. You have to listen to that. Again, we're marketers, but ultimately, if they don't come, we don't make or eat, right? So when you listen to that feedback, if it's just negativity for the sake of being negative, it's a grain of salt. It's not even in one ear and out the other. It's like great. I don't even delete those things because I find them kind of funny, because they're the people that don't matter, right? And I think that a lot of people on social media, they have people that don't matter, but then there are a lot of people that do. So if I sat there trying to worry about those people that just throw a cheeky negative comment at me, like I like to stir a bit of shit sometimes too. So, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. What advice would you give someone that's looking at starting some events or getting into that industry? What would you tell them?
Just do it. Like, I've been doing this 10, 11 years now, and I promise you it's not all been good. As much as you win, you lose at the same time. Friends are an important thing. Friends tend to support you when they're interested in the event. Don't take that to heart. I think that's a big thing as well. I know some people that try events and, they send out a message to their close friends and say, come to this, come to that. But again, people have their own lives and they understand that this is what we do. A restaurant owner doesn't get upset because his friends aren't eating at the restaurant every day. It's the same thing for us. Don't take it to heart. Just give it a shot. Just prepare yourself. Prepare yourself to lose money and be happy when you make. That's a big thing. I think I still like that every week, right? So.
And finally, give me 3 steps for someone that's starting their social media. What are the 3 things that they should do?
I guess number 1, know what you want out of it. So, actually, let's go back before that. Read Jab, Right Hook, Gary Vaynerchuk. It's know exactly what you're doing on there. Now, if it's really just the postings about your family, make it about that. Create a separate profile. If it's about, really doesn't matter whether it's print media, whether it's t-shirts, jumpers, just find a theme and follow that theme through. 2 would be just be consistent. Be consistent with what you do. Instant gratification is not going to happen. It takes time. We look at these social media influencers, and if you go back their profiles, they probably delete the ones that have the less likes, although it doesn't really matter these days, right? But controversy. But I think that just be consistent with it. Give as much out, and then I guess the last thing for you is just add some value. Don't just try and get people to buy or trade or like actually just want to do good by people, and show that,
Be genuine.
Unless you're just a bad person and you want to be a bad person on Instagram, be that person, write politically incorrect things, but just be consistent with it,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's all I got. That's what I got.
Yeah, cool. And what Cheeto was referring to before was the new Instagram update where they don't show how many likes appear on posts.
Can I actually? I put up. I don't know if you
I know
saw
you're
this.
very passionate about
Man,
this.
I'm actually really passionate about this because, like, I see this the same as any other business. So, as much as people pay out on these social media influencers, no doubt, and this is probably before my time, but I'm sure they're probably paid out on people that use the internet for business at once upon a time, right? It's like, there's always going to be these haters. It's such a weird word to use, but these, like, people just have negativity towards people trying new things. Now, I posted that status the other day, and that got some good traction. And again, for me, that was more of a jab, right hook, and it's probably going to post this after the weekend that I needed on my events to get some traction. So, gotcha. But it just stirred so many people up. Just saying that. What I say is, like, you're just salty about these influencers that are making money from doing things with less efforts, which isn't true because a lot of them do put a lot of effort into their content. Yeah. Because you're just stuck in this 9 to 5 that you hate doing and you work hard for, right? But I don't think it's going to have that much of a change in influencers. Because, like, I got a business. I'm not an influencer by any means, but I sort of thought, crap, is this going to, like, affect our socials? Yeah. And we've got multiple profiles. Again, not huge, but it's not. Because realistically, if I was working for your brand, for instance, I'd still be able to show you the amount of likes by sending you a screenshot.
You can still show you insights. Yeah.
It makes no, or you can click on it and just scroll.
Yep.
So what's the big deal? It just doesn't show the number of likes, and it's only in Australia. So people are losing their minds when, like, it's just Australia. And let's be honest, when we look at around the world, like, we're one of the biggest countries that have this tall poppy syndrome. Where you go to America, people celebrate other people's wins. Unfortunately, we're in the land of sarcasm, and it doesn't really happen as much. Yeah. It was interesting to see so many salty people on there throwing, like, back-ended comments and just like wishing bad on people or celebrating a loss. It's like, man, that's not how we do business.
I don't really understand it. From where I'm sitting, no one's lost here.
No,
because
no one.
The business profiles can still see all their insights. They can still see their reach. Yeah. They can see their engagement. What it's going to do is it's going to reduce the amount of people that are chasing those likes.
Yes.
So people that are tagging, like, pick of the day and Insta famous and all those rubbish hashtags just to get a like.
Never done that.
All that rubbish content is going to get swept out.
Yeah, and the buying likes, and the buying likes. But I also made a comment to, like, that. If people are watching this, go to that post because it's actually really, like, there's some interesting comments in there. But it's the same, right? So you bought likes. I worked in lead generation for years. Has no one in business ever bought data? Have they never bought leads? And let's be honest, cold calling companies probably buy some pretty shoddy leads. That
But when you buy likes, you're buying fake.
Yeah.
They're not real profiles.
But it's like, I get that, but at the same time, it's still in some way, shape, or form a lead, right? Yeah. Well, I never think it's a flex, man. It's like, this is how many likes. Me, nah, man. I wish I bought likes. So, up until a point, I didn't even know you could until everyone started saying that stuff. I should have bought likes. Hey, I'm only stuck on like 1,000.
No, it affects your reach. Don't buy likes.
Yeah. Just jump on mine and like my page. What else?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so I'm passionate. Well, look, I'm not really that passionate. I just like to stir people up. But I think in business...
I saw that post and I was like, good timing.
Yeah, hell
It's a controversial post because everyone's getting worked up about this right now. Mm-hmm. And Chino's just sitting there laughing.
And it goes back to that, me needing to be relevant at the time,
Yeah.
Not good with music. I'm just not. I'm not a DJ. I don't perform. I'm the dude that sits at the bar, and if you want to work on shots, then I'll have plenty of them. But I'm good at just kind of sussing something and throwing it out there. And it was great, to be honest, because the other posts that followed have got some good traction.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what it was. It was just like I just like to have a stab. But it was also like, the rest came and it works. That's the art of social media, man.
That's social media.
We'll never know the algorithms, so you just got to try and play with it until
exactly right.
Zuckerberg decides to change that shit up on you again.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down.
No worries. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back soon, no doubt. But that's it for this episode, and we'll catch you guys soon. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll tag Christian in the post in the video. So if you've got any questions for him, it'll also have all the links to his social media and what he's doing. So make sure you give him a follow, give him some love, and we'll catch you guys soon.